Calcio News. A significant match took place in the 14th week of the Italian Serie A, featuring Inter Milan versus Fiorentina. The game was hosted at the Artemio Franchi Stadium on Sunday evening, and despite the high expectations for an intense game, it was sadly eclipsed by a dire occurrence. Midway through the contest, Fiorentina's midfielder Eduardo abruptly fell to the ground, collapsing on the field during the match against Inter Milan in the early hours of Monday local Western Indonesia time. The unfortunate incident occurred when the match had only been underway for 15 minutes. According to a report from Sky Sport Italy, as cited by Football Italia, Eduardo unexpectedly fell while bending down to tie his shoelaces. The moment happened when the game was temporarily stopped by the VAR to conduct a video review by the video assistant referee or VAR regarding a disallowed goal by Inter Milan's Lautaro Martinez. Panic then ensued from both Fiorentina and Inter Milan players. Players from both teams tried to provide assistance while calling for the medical team to urgently enter the field. Throughout the game, no severe incident was observed that could have triggered Eduardo's collapse. There was only contact when anticipating a header and shield in the Fiorentina penalty box. Even though Eduardo fell inside the forbidden box, the referee awarded a 12-yard penalty kick to Inter Milan. After that, Eduardo Buffet had no further contact, and players from both teams immediately signaled to the medical team to form a protective circle around him to provide privacy during the medical treatment process. The atmosphere turned tense when the 20-year-old player received emergency medical treatment on the field. Eduardo Buffet was born in Rome on May 16, 2002. The 22-year-old is a graduate from the AS Roma Academy and has been loaned out to Fiorentina this season. La Viola spent €1.5 million on his loan fee for this season with Fiorentina. Eduardo Fifpi was immediately trusted by coach Rafael Palladino to take on a starting role. As a result, he was able to contribute 1 goal and 4 assists in 14 appearances across all competitions. The midfielder, who stands at 181 centimeters tall, made his debut in Italian Serie A when AS Roma won big against Crotone in 2002. Then coach Paolo Fonseca gave him a debut opportunity in the 79th minute, replacing every other boy. He only gained more chances to play regularly under Jose Mourinho in the 2002-2003 season. Eduardo Fifpi scored his first goal in Serie A against Hellas Verona. Since then, Edward Buffecraft has been fielded more often. Until the loan period to Fiorentina, Sky Sport Italia reported emotions were high as players from Fiorentina and Inter Milan because the ambulance did not immediately enter the field. Consequently, the boy was first carried on a stretcher and then moved into an ambulance at the edge of the field. The former AS Roma player was then rushed to the nearby Careggi Hospital, close to the Artemio Franchi Stadium. Fiorentina and Inter Milan players were seen crying on the pitch afterwards. Players from both teams were asked to leave the field and return to the dressing room. The Serie A authorities have decided that the Fiorentina versus Inter Milan match is stopped and will not continue today. Meanwhile, after the incident, Fiorentina released a statement about Eduardo Buffet's condition. Not long after, the former AS Roma employee is still undergoing intensive care. ACF and Careggi University Hospital announced that footballer Eduardo Buff, who was saved on the field after losing consciousness during a match, is currently under pharmacological sedation and is being intensively treated in the hospital. Eduardo arrived at the emergency room in a hemodynamically stable condition. Cardiological and neurological tests performed did not reveal acute damage to the central nervous system and the cardiorespiratory system. He will be re-evaluated in the next 24 hours. Fiorentina has been performing spectacularly in Serie A this season, sitting in 4th place in the standings with 28 points from 13 matches, which is the same amount as Inter Milan and Atalanta in the 2nd and 3rd positions, respectively. Meanwhile, at the top of the Serie A standings, Napoli currently leads with 32 points from 14 matches.